You guys, welcome back to Gotta Love Them Movies, your place to talk about the stuff that you love. I'm your host, Mr. Mike Brown. I'm here all the time. And you guys, it's nice and chill here in New York. Actually, it's warming up. Temperature's getting a little warmer than I would have liked, but it's all right. It's all right. I do love me some fall weather. And you guys, if you've been living in the world, you know that there's a new trailer. There's a trailer for Spider-Man No Way Home. I almost said Far From Home. There's a No Way Home trailer that just came out yesterday, and we're going to break it down. We're going to talk about all things that you guys want to talk about. But before we do, don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel. Just click on that subscribe button. With the more subscribers the channel gets, the more watch content the channel gets. And with the more watch content the channel gets, the more we get to make this my full-time job. And you guys, if there's anything very specifically that you want to talk about, send me an email at gottalovethammovies@gmail.com. And as long as your comment or question is family-friendly, hey, we'll make it a main topic here on the show. All right. So that being said, that down and out of the way, you guys, let's jump in and let's talk about the first thing that is on everybody's minds right now. Spider-Man No Way Home. The new trailer just dropped last night. We knew, Sony kind of gave us a little bit of a heads up that it was coming, but I thought it was going to be dropped earlier in the day. Turns out it was later in the day. There was this huge fan event out in LA. Tom Holland was there. Some other studio execs were there, and it was kind of a big deal. Yeah, and so we got to see the new trailer. And it's good. I mean, it kind of satisfies that craving a little bit for, hey, what else you got? Show me a little bit more that you got. We didn't get really any new information except for confirmation of some of the villains. It was confirmed. We saw Lizard in the trailer. We'll talk more about Lizard in a minute. We saw Lizard in the trailer. We saw Electro. We saw Sandman. We knew Electro was going to be in it. We've known, Green Goblin. I was always kind of dubious that it was actually Green Goblin. I kind of was playing off of this fan theory that maybe it was like an alternate reality or like an alternate universe version of Ned Leeds, who, if you're familiar with the comics, he turns out to be Hobgoblin. So I was kind of thinking like, all right, well, maybe it's not Green Goblin, maybe it's Hobgoblin, but no, like it's confirmed, it's Green Goblin. We get another look, another view of a goblin on a glider that doesn't look like the same type of Green Goblin of which we saw. I mean, maybe it's the Dane DeHaan version of Green Goblin, but I don't know. There's a little bit of speculation in there. Who knows? But yeah, in terms of the trailer itself, I wasn't super impressed with it because here's the thing. I was fully expecting, and I'm sure much like many of you, to see Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire make an appearance. I was fully expecting it, and it didn't happen. And that combined with everything that Andrew Garfield... In fact, let's jump into this article real quick. So Andrew Garfield was on the Today Show the other day. I think it was 2 days ago. The day before this trailer dropped, promoting his new film, Tick, Tick, Boom, of which there's, a lot of Oscar buzz revolving around his performance. So he's on the Today Show talking about like his new movie and whatever. And they end the interview with saying, we'd be remiss if we didn't ask you about Spider-Man. And, again, Andrew Garfield comes straight out and he says, I am not in the film. Very clear, very definitive. And he says he's looking forward to seeing, what they're going to do with this third film. Being like the MCU Spider-Man film. He was very honored to be a part of the Spider-Man, to play Spider-Man, very honored to kind of like be in that world for a little while. And he's, championing Kevin Feige and Tom Holland and, everybody else over there making these films. And he was just very emphatic. I am not in the movie. And it sounded fairly genuine, but it was also kind of met with this like, the guy has got to be sick and tired of being asked this question. He's got to be sick and tired of being asked this question because it just keeps coming back to him. Are you in the movie? No, I'm not in the movie. I've heard other pundits talk about this specific interview and saying, well, if he's this emphatic that he's not in the movie, I mean, maybe he's actually not in the movie. And we were all expecting to see Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire pop up in this new trailer, and they didn't. And it begs the question, are they still, is Sony and Marvel doubling down on the fact that, no, we need to keep them a secret? They are the biggest spoiler to this movie. Or are they genuinely not in it? So there's a little bit of back and forth going. In fact, there's a lot of back and forth going on here. And this is, it's all fan speculation. It's all fan theory. But take a look at this. The same trailer that got released here in the United States, the same trailer got released in Brazil. But in this specific scene, this is towards the end. So here we see Spider-Man flying through the air, preparing for battle against, you can see Electro, you can see the Lizard, and you can see Sandman. All right there. They're all right there. 3 villains right there. And actually, Electro's new look is pretty cool. And I love that they did, a nice little homage to his costume in the comics. That was like in his face mask kind of thing, but like all electricity. It was really cool. Anyway, in the Brazilian version of this trailer, in this scene, it lasts like an extra second or 2 seconds or, 1.5 seconds or something like that. It's just a hair longer than the version that was released in the United States or the UK. And you can see Lizard being punched by someone or something. Here, let me scroll down a little bit further in here and let you hear. I'm just going to go ahead and play it. You can see it for yourself. So he's flying through the air. Boom! He gets punched in the face. Boom! He gets punched in the face by something. There is an unseen force punching Lizard in the face. Let's watch this again. Flying through the air, something punches him in the face. And punches him in the face. It's very clear. Something punched Lizard right in the face. Now, let me address something else here. Look at the eye lines of each of these villains. Back in that clip, I know we're focusing on Lizard, but obviously Sandman is getting ready and he's going to punch this Spider-Man that is hurtling through the air right there. Again, look at the eye line of Lizard. Lizard's not looking at this Spider-Man. He's looking at something else. A non-seen force in this trailer punches him right in the face. Look at Electro. It's a little hard to kind of see where Electro's eye line is, but it stands to reason that there's another Spider-Man here. Here's Tom Holland fighting Sandman, and there's another Spider-Man here punching the Lizard in the face. Have they been digitally removed from this image? Have they been digitally removed from the trailer that we saw last night? Most likely, yes. Most likely, yes. So again, it's one of these things that Andrew Garfield is so emphatic, and you want to believe him. You genuinely want to believe him when he says, I'm not in the movie. I'm not in the movie. I'm not in the movie. You want to believe him because of how genuine he feels. But there's also, if you look at, and I'm not going to play the interview on here, but if you look at the tongue-in-cheek nature of how he says, I'm not in the movie, it's a little bit more lighthearted than not, right? It's a little bit more lighthearted than not. So, is he in the movie? I'm leaning, I keep going back and forth on this. If they're not in the movie, that's fine. But we also haven't, it feels like so many people on the internet are of the opinion that Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire are in the film. Vast majority of people, myself included. And when we, we don't have any hard confirmation from Sony or from Marvel, excuse me, coming out and saying, guys, we need to release a press statement. Like, we're so honored and thrilled that you are so excited for this movie. We're excited for this movie too. But there's so much online talk and discussion about Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire's involvement in this film. We just want you to know we don't want anyone to be let down. They're not in the film. So if you're going into this movie expecting to see them, we're sorry, but they're not in the movie. And Sony or Marvel has not done that. They haven't come out with any kind of press release statement because everyone is getting their hopes so high. In fact, we all thought we were going to see Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire in this trailer, and they're not. So, again, that begs the question, are we as fans putting our expectations too high? Are we expecting something that should not be there? Or maybe not should not be there. Should we be tempering our expectations a little bit? Or is this all just a dog and pony show? You know, it's hard to say exactly what is going on, but when I saw the interview with Andrew Garfield, I kind of took him at his word in saying, like, hey, I am not in the movie. But then I saw Lizard being punched by an unseen force on, within the Brazilian version of this trailer. So I kind of don't know what to think, but I also am leaning towards the idea that, well, everybody's just lying. And they kind of have to, if that's the big secret, if that's the big reveal. And again, Tom Holland said that this is only a fraction, like at the fan event from last night, he said this is only a fraction of what is to come in the movie, there's bigger stuff. And I've seen a lot of people talking online about like, oh, well, I already know what's coming down the pipeline. I already know Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire are going to be in the movie. We've seen all the villains. Who is the sixth villain going to be? I say it's obviously Venom. Obviously Venom. If you've seen Venom Let There Be Carnage, especially in the post-credit scene, it's kind of obvious that Venom is going to be if indeed there is going to be a Sinister Six in this film, it's gonna be Venom. They've already set that up. But there's a lot of other fan theories. There's a lot of other people saying, no, it's going to be Bruce Campbell as Mysterio, and it's going to be John Malkovich as the Vulture, which were alternate versions way back in the Sam Raimi era if they were going to do Spider-Man 4, which obviously that film never happened. But there's that theory. There's the theory that, what's his bucket? The other Venom, that 70s show, you guys know who I'm talking about, that guy is going to come back and play that version of Venom. And then there's a host of other possibilities and things here, so anyway, guys, I want to hear from you. What are your thoughts about Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire publicly saying we are not in the movie, but then we also see the Lizard getting punched by an unseen force? Like, is this all a dog and pony show? Are they saying what they have to just appease the masses until the big reveals? Or do you believe them? Do you think they're actually not in the movie? There's so many ways that this could go. Who do you think is the sixth villain of this film? Are they actually going to do a Sinister Six? Is it going to be Aaron Taylor Johnson as Kraven the Hunter? Is Michael Morbius going to make an appearance in this? Is Michael Keaton as Vulture coming back? Who knows? There's so many ways that this could go, you guys. I want to hear what your thoughts are. Let's talk about your fan theories down in the comment section below. All right, you guys, let's move on and take some of your emails. One of our main viewers of the show, The Nerd Zone, sends in our first email of the day. And this is part 1 of 3. It's a little lengthy, so bear with us. Nerd Zone says, on Disney Plus Day, which was a few days ago, we got teasers and title announcements for upcoming Marvel Studio releases. I'm saying Marvel Studios because one of the projects isn't in the MCU, but is amazing. I think there's a couple of things that aren't in the MCU from their announcements, but, be that as it may. We got teasers for Hawkeye, Moon Knight, She-Hulk, Ms. Marvel, and one little picture of Sam Jackson for Secret Invasion. Nerd Zone goes on. And we got title announcements for Agatha, House of Harkness, which is the WandaVision spinoff. Echo, which is a Hawkeye spinoff. It's Hawkeye and also Daredevil. Like, Daredevil is... the Echo is also associated with the Daredevil character. Marvel Zombies, and a pat on the back to himself from Nerd Zone for that one, which I think we could all kind of see the writing on the wall there. That one Marvel What If the What If Zombies episode was super popular. A little controversial because everyone was like, man, it should have gone like this. But okay, they're going to do Marvel Zombies. I think that's going to be really cool. Spider-Man Freshman Year, which I'm hoping will help me love the MCU Spidey. And I didn't realize that you weren't a fan of the MCU Spidey. Interesting. Let's talk more about that. Loki Season 2. What If Season 2. I Am Groot. Guardians of the Galaxy Holiday Special, which we knew about from last year's Disney Investors Day meeting. And finishing out his email, Nerd Zone says, and the one I was building up to, I'm the most excited for, you and me both, brother. X-Men 97. a flashback to the classic X-Men animated series, which, yes, even though I'm younger, I did watch the series on DVD back to back when I was little, so please don't say that I don't understand the nostalgia. I would never say that, and I'm going to address that in a second, but I'm wondering how they're going to do this after Season 5's ending, but I'm really excited, and I hope it will make the original fans like myself feel nostalgic and introduce newer fans to what we watched. Yeah, so first and foremost, that's a mouthful. But second and foremost, yeah, we got a huge look at all the stuff that Marvel is pumping out. You know, first and foremost, I'm just going to go through some of these photos real quick. You know, we got Marvel Zombies. Or rather, they announced Marvel Zombies. Agatha, House of Harkness, which is a really cool title. I Am Groot, Spider-Man Freshman Year, Echo, What If Season 2, which we already kind of knew it was coming. Ms. Marvel, we've known this is coming for a while. We got a first look at it. X-Men 97, this was a huge revelation, and I am that's the one that I'm most excited to see. Secret Invasion. Again, we knew that was coming. We got a first look at Nick Fury. We'll talk about that in a second. Again, we got a new redesigned logo for Ironheart. We got a new redesigned logo for She-Hulk, and we also got to see a little bit from it. Moon Knight, same thing. We got our first look at what the Moon Knight series is going to look and feel like. Guardians of the Galaxy holiday special. We knew this was coming last year, and we're still waiting for it. I believe, somebody correct me if I'm wrong in the comment section, but I believe the holiday special is coming holiday season of 2022. I believe. Somebody correct me on that if I am incorrect. And then, of course, Hawkeye. The Hawkeye series, which is the next thing to come down the pipeline for us. So, I mean, yeah, we got a lot of stuff, a lot of announcements, and that's just the Marvel stuff. They also did, a whole bunch of Pixar stuff. And today, the trailer for, the full-length trailer for Turning Red just dropped. Man, that looks great. There was Obi-Wan Kenobi. There was Book of Boba Fett. There's a behind-the-scenes featurette documentary about, Boba Fett, and kind of like leading up to where he is now. A whole bunch of stuff that Disney announced. But yeah, we're just going to focus on the Marvel stuff right now. And you're right, Nerd Zone. Like, we got our first looks at She-Hulk, Ms. Marvel, Moon Knight, some really cool stuff coming out of that. We also got to see some new title cards for Spider-Man Freshman Year, the animated series, which is, I think it's going to be fun. We don't know who's going to voice Spider-Man. Is it going to be Tom Holland or someone else? Now, a few weeks ago, Tom Holland kind of, I don't know if teased is the right word here, but he had mentioned during an interview that he's looking forward to helping groom the next Spider-Man, whenever that happens, whoever that happens to be. And it might be for this Spider-Man Freshman Year. So I don't know. We'll just kind of have to wait and suss that out when it's time to do that. Again, Agatha, House of Harkness, the Marvel Zombies, like all this stuff, like it looks really cool. And here we get our first and only look currently for the Secret Invasion. Nick Fury no longer sporting an eye patch, and boy, oh boy, does he have some interesting facial hair going on. Has this grizzled appearance, but also there's a polished look to it, but also a grizzled look to it, where like he's ready. He is ready to fight. He is ready to fight. And of course, we also got, some new redesigns. But yeah, let's talk about this X-Men 97 thing for a second. Because this is the show that I am most excited for. I think they announced it a couple of years ago, and we just kind of forgot about it. Right? We just kind of forgot about it. It was one of those things that they put out there and they said, hey, we're thinking of, we're going to redo the X-Men animated series. And we're all like, what? That's cool. And then, we get lost in all the Spider-Man No Way Home stuff. And, the MCU here and Star Wars there and Zack Snyder's Justice League, like all this stuff. We totally get distracted. And then they announced this again with this really cool logo, X-Men 97. Kind of picking up where they left, assumingly so, or assumedly so, they're going to pick up where they left off. And yeah, I don't exactly know how that's going to be congruent with season 5. Let's be honest. Let's be completely dead honest here. X-Men season 5 of the animated series was not good. It was not good. The writing was lazy. The animation was sloppy. They switched animation companies, I think, halfway through season 4. For some of, even season 3, and I want to say season 2, for a couple episodes here and there, they tested out a cheaper animation studio, which did not go over very well. So they kind of went back to the original studio, but they, eventually they finished out the series, season 5, pretty much all doing it from this cheaper animation studio. And it didn't look good. It didn't feel right. The writing was it was bad writing. Not that X-Men the animated series had the most acclaimed, incredible writing to begin with, even though the dialogue was corny and cheesy, and some of the action and the voice acting, it was all cheesy, it was all corny, but there was a heart to the storytelling. There was a reason that they were telling that story, and it was pertinent for that time. And I feel like the X-Men have always been an allegory for whatever demographic feels like it's been left out, or put down, or forgotten about, or tried to actively work against of, right? And so the X-Men have always been an excellent allegory with that. One of my personal favorites, X-Men the animated series, made me fall in love with the X-Men, and they're my number one favorite comic book entity. They really are. And that includes Ninja Turtles. I love the culture of Ninja Turtles, but yeah, X-Men, that's my numero uno right there. So where is this going to pick up from? Are they going to just forget about season 5 and just go right? I mean, if they did that, they might as well just call it X-Men 96. So I don't know. I mean, there's so many other stories to tell, and I feel like we're going to get different, new and different characters with this, staying true to the same original. Gotta have Wolverine, gotta have Storm, gotta have Jubilee, gotta have Rogue, gotta have Gambit and Beast, obviously Cyclops, Jean Grey, but where else is it? Who else is going to be included in here? So yeah, I'm super excited for it. Of course, I'm excited for everything, but X-Men 97, that's where my heart lives. But you guys, I want to hear from you. What are your thoughts about everything that Disney announced, everything Marvel? They did a little bit of Star Wars stuff, all the Pixar stuff, all the Disney animation stuff, Encanto, however you want to pronounce that. My goodness, everything just, I'm excited. I'm a Disney fan. Disney's taking over the world, and everything looks great. I will say about the Disney Plus shows, the Marvel Disney Plus shows, when they first announced them, we're all getting super excited about how big and how cinematic their video production is going to how well their production is going to feel and look, and it's all going to be congruent. And while yes, it looks great, it doesn't feel like an MCU film, right? It feels a little dragged out, which it is. They're television episodes, right? Television works differently from film. So I've never felt like any of the series and we only have 3, really. I don't feel like any of the series have hit that cinematic level in the way that maybe they should. And I feel like WandaVision was the one that came the closest to it, because the storytelling was supposed to be television formatted, but within a bigger, I don't know, whatever. But you guys, I want to hear from you. What are your thoughts and feelings about everything that Disney had to announce? everything Marvel, everything else. It was great. It was a lot. It's a lot to take in. But jump down to the comment section below and let me know your thoughts. All right, guys, we have one last email to take, and that is also from the Nerd Zone. And Nerd Zone says, Halo finally got its TV series. Halo got a teaser for the Paramount Plus TV series coming in 2020. And yeah, it did. We got our first look at Master Chief. Now, again, full disclosure, even though I'm wearing a Nintendo t-shirt right now, you guys know I'm not huge into gaming. Gaming is not my forte. I love the culture. I love the stories. I even like to watch other people play. But when I play, I get so emotionally invested in the characters, and then you get set back and you have to do it all over again. And like, I'm good. I don't like that kind of stuff. I want my story to evolve, just to keep going. I don't want to have to keep going back and back and back and back. You know? Anyway, that's why I play Yahtzee on my phone, right? Yeah, so I'm not that invested emotionally in the Halo property. But I'll be honest, based on this teaser, it was basically just an announcement trailer. That's all it was. It opens with Pablo, what's his name? Pablo Schreiber, I think is his name. Am I getting that right? Pablo Schreiber, who's playing Master Chief. We get a look at his back, and it's all scarred. And then, the camera kind of turns around a little bit, and we get to see some of his armor, some of the armor here. And it looks really good. Again, having not played the game, I'm not that familiar with what it should look like or how it should feel. But in terms of just an announcement trailer, yeah, it looks really cool. We see a shot of him from the back putting his helmet on, and then we hear the computer voice talking to him very much like Jarvis in the Iron Man suit saying, welcome, Master Chief, or good to see you again, Master Chief, something like that. So we know it's Master Chief, right? So again, this series is coming to Paramount Plus, coming to Paramount Plus sometime in 2022. We don't have an actual release date yet. Not sure if it's going to be coming in spring, summer, fall, winter. I would imagine closer to the end of the year. If it was going to be closer to this time, we'd get more than just an announcement trailer. So I would expect to see Halo come out sometime in the fall. But yeah, you guys, I want to hear from you. What are your thoughts and feelings? What did you think of the announcement trailer? Do you think there should have been more? Do you think that it's going to come sooner rather than later? Or do you think that it's a fair assessment to say, no, it's going to come out in the fall sometime? I want to hear your thoughts and feelings down in the comment section below. All right, you guys, we have reached the portion of the show where it's time to jump into the comments and take your live comments now.
It's alive! It's alive!
All right, you guys, you've been firing in live comments and questions all show long, and now it's time to jump in and take those. Nerd Zone, you know better than that. Jumping off with a curse word, you potty mouth. You. Nerd Zone says, shoot! You had to do this show while I was watching Cars 2. I'm the only one who likes that movie. Cars 2 is not a bad film, but it is not congruent with the world that they had originally created in Cars 1 and then ultimately finished with Cars 3. It took me a long time to come around to the Cars franchise because admittedly the world that the Cars live in doesn't feel like the same type of Pixar animation that we've seen before. It has a little bit more rounded, a little bit more balloon look and feel to it. And it delves into car culture. And I am not into car culture. NASCAR has never been something that I've been interested in. Racing has never been something that I've been interested in. And so, admittedly, when the Cars movies came out, I didn't care about them. I watched it, but I really liked the second one because it kind of moved away from car culture a little bit and got more involved in something that I'm interested in, which is spy movies. I love the Mission Impossible franchise. I have been a diehard James Bond fan the vast majority of my life. The Jason Bourne series has been exquisite. I don't think that they are necessarily the best movies now, but at the time that they came out, my goodness, like Jason Bourne was like the it guy, right? So yeah, I love the spy genre. So I really enjoyed Cars 2. But you have to admit, Cars 2 is a completely different kind of movie. It's very, very different from Cars 1. Now, having driven a section of Route 66, I now have a newfound appreciation for the first and the third car movies. Even though I'm still not into car culture, Cars still embodies that Route 66 spirit, and I love it. I love that spirit. I love driving. I just love driving. Put me in the driver's seat and just let me go. I just love the process of driving a car and just going. It's so relaxing to me, and it's one of my favorite things in the world. So yeah, I agree with you, Nerd Zone. Cars 2 is not a bad movie. I think that it gets the hate from other people just because it is so vastly different from Cars 1 and then, again, Cars 3. So, anyway. Nerdzone says, by the way, I'm seeing Ghostbusters on Friday. You're a better man than I am. I'm seeing it on Saturday. Kim just got us tickets to go see Ghostbusters. This is going to be my first time at the Alamo Drafthouse. Everybody says that they have the best experiences at Alamo Drafthouse, and I don't doubt it. People rave about Alamo Drafthouse. So I'm looking forward to seeing Ghostbusters at Alamo Drafthouse and kind of seeing, first of all, seeing the movie, but also the experience of Alamo Drafthouse. So I don't think they have Alamo Drafthouse in the UK, but I might be mistaken in that. Nerdzone says, the other two Spider-Men are still in it, I think. We are obviously not going to get them in the trailer. Obviously, I think is the wrong word to use there. This actually reminds me of how even though Palpatine was announced for The Rise of Skywalker, yeah, there are some similarities there. But Palpatine was already announced. Like, we knew he was going to be in it long before the trailer came out. Like, that was announced long before. But it was one of those announcements that it wasn't a rock solid announcement. Like, we knew that, what's the actor's name? Oh, I can't think of the actor's name. We knew he was associated with it in some capacity. And then the first trailer for Rise of Skywalker came out, and then we hear his cackle, that yeah. And we're like, oh, that's the Emperor. That's good old Palpatino over there. You say we are obviously not going to get them in the trailer. I disagree with that just a little bit, because obviously I thought we were going to get them in this trailer. There's another pundit on YouTube. I watch him religiously. His name is John Campea. I've ripped off his show, and that's what this show is. This is like, you could essentially switch out the name Gotta Love the Movies for the John Campea ripoff show, essentially, is if you wanted to. But one of the things that John Campea was saying was that you are going to sell out your tickets. Not just sell a lot of tickets, but you are going to sell out your tickets if you put Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire and Tom Holland all in one trailer. If you feature all three of them together in one trailer, everybody's going to sell. Everybody's going to buy every ticket. And I'm still pretty sure everybody's going to buy every ticket, but it's still, now it has that feeling of ambiguity to it. Are they? Because it's not, like, nothing's been confirmed, and everybody is denying. Which, of course, if they are in the movie, they should do, but I don't know. If that's the big reveal of the movie, that's a terrible secret because everybody knows it already. I don't know. I don't know what the right answer is. Nerdzone says, we never... Oh, dear. What's... Oh, man. I hate spam. Spam's the worst. Nerdzone says, we never got to see... Well, I'm sorry. I can't move on until I get rid of some of these comments. Give me 1 second, you guys. Let me delete some of these comments that are just spam, and I'll be right back. All right, guys, we're back. I do apologize for that. Sometimes spammers get on here and they post some stuff that's gross. So yeah, I apologize for that. So thank you for taking the time and allowing me to remove some of those comments. Let me address Nerdzone real quick. You may notice that a couple of your replies to those nasty spams have also been removed. I just wanted to keep the flow going. And speaking of which, Nerdzone says we never got to see what he looked like. By the way, I don't know. I don't like the movie, but I loved Palpatine's look throughout most of the movie, almost like a zombie brought back from the dead. So again, like this is, we're getting the second half to a thought that we first addressed before we got all that spam. So Spider-Man actually reminds me of how even though Palpatine was announced for the Rise of Skywalker, we never got to see what he looked like. By the way, I don't like the movie, but I loved Palpatine's look throughout most of the film, almost like a zombie brought back from the dead. Well, yeah, I think that was the intent, right? Because in a lot of ways, Palpatine had died, basically. Minerva, come here. Sorry. Can you move? Thank you. Sorry, my cat had decided to sit right where I put my feet. And, yeah, I'm not going to put my feet on my cat. But yeah, you're exactly right. Like, that was the look of what they were going for. That was the feel. And you're right. Palpatine looked really cool. He looked really cool in that, in the film. It was a bad movie. It was a bad story. It was a bad movie. Yeah. Redacted 83 says Disney has done really well by keeping secrets. It has ignited the fan base. Typically, yes. And let me put an asterisk by this. When I say typically, let me put an asterisk right on that. Typically, yeah. They do a great job at keeping secrets. And I'm not saying that they're not doing a great job at keeping secrets now, because we don't know what secrets they're keeping. Specifically regarding Spider-Man No Way Home, right? We don't know specifically what secrets they're holding on to, because we don't know what the movie is yet to bring, right? But the whole idea that everybody has this whole narrative that Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire are going to be in the film. What happens if they're not? Like, hear me out for a second. What happens if they're not actually in the film? Of course, we all, myself included, believe that they're going to be in the movie, right? And then that's the big secret. That's the big reveal. Or maybe there's a bigger reveal beyond that. Who knows? And if there is a bigger reveal, which I don't think there is, I think Garfield and Maguire are like the biggest. I think that's the biggest thing right now. But yeah, typically you're right, Redacted. They do generally keep a really good. They do a really good job of keeping those secrets on lockdown. It's just, I just don't think this is one of them. I don't think this is one of them. Nerdzone says, I'm rewatching the X-Men series at the moment, getting excited for 97. I should do the same. It's been a while since I've seen the original. And you know what I'll do? Because let's be honest, season 1, season 2, and most of season 3 is the best work of the X-Men animated series, which I believe it came out in 92. But yeah, those are the strongest seasons. And then once you leave season 3, the writing just falls flat on its face. So I really should go back and rewatch, because I go back and I do rewatch like the Phoenix Saga and then the Dark Phoenix Saga. Obviously everything with Morph is really interesting. Even though Morph was never like a character in the comics, I like that they created his character specifically for the show. Which kind of gives Wolverine, an emotional arc to deal with. I really like the stuff that they did with Morph a lot. These cats, man, creating commotion. Meow meow, come here, meow meow. Let's see if she comes over. All right, no, she still wants out. So let's finish this out. Nerdzone replies to Redacted by saying, Redacted, have they really kept that secret for Toby and Andrew? Really? Well, there you go. You just illustrated my point. And, is it Sony? Is it Disney? Is this even true? Is this a fan theory that has a little bit of credence to it that everybody has just run with? Where did this start? Because we were talking about this a year ago, more than a year ago. We were talking about the fact that Andrew Garfield was going to be in this movie. And then Tobey Maguire's name kind of slowly started becoming attached to it as well. And, we just kind of ran with it. But where did it come from? Didn't come from Reddit. didn't come from Reddit. So I don't know. Again, are they doing a good job at keeping secrets? Typically they do. Asterisk. Typically they do. In this instance, if that is the big secret, they're not doing a great job at keeping a lid on it. Unless there is an even bigger great you guys. What if Captain America is in this movie? That would be a massive reveal, right? What if Iron Man and Captain America like walked through a portal or something? Minerva, can you knock it off? I'm trying to talk about movies. Thank you. I'm just saying, what if Captain America and an Iron Man from a completely different universe, in a universe where Iron Man never bit the dust, what if Tony Stark and Steve Rogers just kind of like walk in through a portal into this universe and be like, whoa, Spider-Man, you're fighting 6 villains all at once? WTF, man. WTF. And then they bring their friends, Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield. Like, what if that is the big reveal? What if that's the big secret? And the Andrew Garfield and the Tobey Maguire thing, what if that's like mid-level secret, but then the big secret? What if Thanos comes back? What if this? What if that? There's so many different possibilities. What if the Eternals pop up in this movie? I don't think there's a very good likelihood of that. But it's on the table. It's on the table. So, like, Redacted 83, to your point, maybe that's the big secret that they're keeping. And they know they can't keep that a secret unless they try to keep something else a secret. So, we're just going to let slip. We're just going to start a rumor that Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield are in this movie. And we're not going to confirm or deny it. See? Maybe. Minerva, I told you. I'm talking about Spider-Man No Way Home. Knock it off. Okay. So that's the big matzo ball to chew on right now. Is maybe is there a bigger secret to behold? And you guys, oh man, you know what? Let me just change the screen to this real quick. I'm gonna check down here and see. I think that's basically, that's basically the end of our comments. You guys, let's just end the show here. Thank you so much for being part of the conversation. Thank you so much for contributing and looking out for each other in the comment section. That is greatly appreciated. Thank you for being kind and generous to each other. Again, so many other thoughts and theories. Are we only going to have these 2 trailers? Do you think there's going to be a third Spider-Man No Way Home trailer? What do you think about Lizard getting punched in the face halfway through his, diving through the air? Who's Electro fighting? What do you think about Disney Plus Day? How about Halo, the new Halo television series, and a host of so many other things to talk about and to explore. You guys, thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, click like. If you really like this video, click subscribe. And if you really, really like this video, click share. Because that is exactly what getting punched in the face lizard would want you to do. You guys, we live in a weird, crazy world where everybody has their own thoughts and opinions, and sometimes those thoughts and opinions clash. So if you have an opportunity to infuse just a little bit of kindness into the world today, please, I implore you, take those opportunities. As always, in the words of Bill S. Preston Esquire and Ted Theodore Logan, be excellent to each other. I will see you guys. Will I see you next week? It's Thanksgiving. It's the day before Thanksgiving. Yeah. I'll see you guys next week.